I'm not a great singer, I'm not a great actor, I'm not a great dancer, I'm not a great looking bird, but you put it all in a little melting pot and it works for me. Evening all!
She's completely and utterly show business orientated.
The glitz, the glamour, the outfits, the boobs.
Because I think everybody in Britain fancied her, but I did fancy her, yeah.
Well, yeah, my age group always have an endearing memory of Barbara physically.
Chest like a confectionery counter is what Kenneth Williams said about her. And she's just full of personality, exactly like you'd want her to be.
If you say Barbara Windsor, there's not a person in this country who hasn't heard of her.
Stick your chest out! Go!
She can be very tough.
She is so tiny. She has the big hair, big boobs, tiny little waist and tiny little feet, and a big mouth.
She's not an icon, she's not a legend, she's unique, splendid, highly British institution.
Barbara Windsor was born Barbara Ann Deeks on the 6th of August, 1937.
I was born in Shoreditch in the East End of London, in the London Hospital. My mum and dad both liked Barbara Ann Scott, who was a famous ice skater, so they called me Barbara Ann. My dad was Jack the Lad, very good looking, wonderful personality, a laugh which I inherited, that one. He married my mother, who was a dressmaker and went to work up west, all whacking great high heels. Very, very lovely looking lady with wonderful red hair, which I'm sad to say I never inherited. She was everything that my father hated, and he was everything she hated. He was a barrow boy, and he wanted to stay in the East End, but Mummy didn't. She wanted to, you know, move to Stoke Newington because it was posher there. I actually was quite a lonely child. I always seemed to be with grown-ups. I never seemed to be with a lot of other children, and so I never thought I had a very happy childhood. At school, they always said, Barbara Deeks is different.
A natural performer from an early age, Barbara's talents were quickly spotted, and her parents were persuaded to enrol her as a pupil in the Ada Foster Theatrical School.
I had to get 4 buses all the way from Stoke Newington to Golders Green. And of course, all these little girls were arriving in Rolls Royces, and very pretty they were, all pretty girls. And I wasn't. I was short, fat, and loud. I was not what was in vogue then. You know, masses of ringlets, and as I say, cute little noses, and very sweet, and tell me like this, and I heard a robin singing, all like that, you see. And I was grab your coat and get your head.
After 2 years as the odd one out, Barbara finally got a chance to shine when she was invited to audition for a new musical, Love from Judy.
I auditioned when I was 14 and a half. It was at the Palace Theatre, and there was a huge queue of all these little girls all around the theatre. And I got onto the stage. They let me sing the whole song, which was very rare. And they said, how old are you? And I knew you had to be 15. And I said, well, I'll be 15 by the time the show opens.
At only 4'10", the 15-year-old Barbara had no problem playing a 10-year-old orphan. But she was growing up in other ways.
I went into this show as a little girl of 14 and a half, and I came out, 2.5 years later, teaching on high heels with a 38-inch bust.